Welcome to your Clemson, Georgia preview presented by Prize Picks. The last two times these teams opened the season against each other was 2021. It was a slobber knocker. Neither offense could get going. This time we feel a little more confident about Georgia's offense. Carson Beck, year two is the starter. We think he's going to be pretty smooth. He has a lot of weapons. We don't exactly know how he's going to distribute the ball in the absence of Brock Bowers and Ladd McConkey, but he has a lot of options. If you look at your Prize Picks board, so when I say squares, I'm talking about Prize Picks. Download the Prize Picks app, use the code STAPLES, play $5, get an instant $50 to play when you use that code STAPLES. And the way it works, you pick two or more squares. The more squares you pick, the higher the potential payout. You've got Dylan Bell, Oscar Delp, Ben Urosic, and Dominic Lovett with demon squares of 0.5 touchdowns. What's a demon square, you ask? Well, those are a little bit higher payout in the Prize Picks universe because maybe a little more difficult to reach. But if you combine a demon square with another square you like, remember you can start with 2. You can go 3, 4, 5 if you want, and it increases the potential payout. But this is interesting because this says that we don't know who's going to do the scoring for Georgia yet. We're not sure. Oscar Delp and Ben Urosic are tight ends. Ben Urosic is the Stanford transfer who at Stanford was used in a lot of similar ways to Brock Bowers. Oscar Delp, we've seen him at Georgia already. We know he's a very good athlete. We know he can block very well, but we also know he has the skills to do things on the outside. Dylan Bell is the Swiss Army knife. He's a receiver, but he can be a running back if he needs to be. And then Dominic Lovett, we think will be kind of the go-to receiver, the safety blanket for Carson Beck. But again, who winds up in the end zone? And also, this is a pretty good Clemson defense. Getting in the end zone maybe a little bit harder. But I do think Georgia's offense is going to be able to move the ball. The question here is, will Clemson be able to score enough to stay in this thing and potentially pull the upset? So Cade Klubnik's square is 190.5 passing yards. For Clemson to win, he's got to go more than. Got to. He has to do it. But the question is, who is he throwing to? One interesting one is Phil Maffa, the tailback. Now, he's got an 85.5 square for rushing plus receiving. And I think that's probably the way to go over a rushing one because Phil Maffa is a weapon in the pass game as well. And maybe Clemson's best offensive weapon. I think he was at the end of last season. As to who Cade Klubnik will throw to more regularly, the only receiver square available right now is Tyler Brown. Not Tyler from Spartanburg. This Tyler is from Greenville. 42.5 yards, more or less. So what's that mean? It means we need to find out if those freshman receivers at Clemson, are we going to see squares for them in the coming weeks because they had a breakout game against Georgia. TJ Moore and Bryant Wesco, those are the receivers that Clemson's very excited about, highly regarded freshmen. Do they come in and make an instant impact like freshman receivers used to do at Clemson back in the day when it was Sammy Watkins or T. Higgins? We don't know yet. We haven't seen it. A lot will probably depend on Cade Klubnik and how he does against that Georgia defense, which again is loaded. Mykel Williams, Smile Munden, Malachi Starks. When are we going to see the freshman safety KJ Bolden? I'd imagine pretty soon as the game gets going. But how Cade Klubnik handles that defense is going to determine whether Clemson has a chance in this game. So that 190.5, for Clemson to have a chance to win, it's got to be more than. Got to be. And Cade Klubnik's got to find some new favorite targets and not just rely on Phil Maffa to do it all. We'll see if Clemson can pull it off. Thank you so much for watching. Just a reminder, subscribe to this channel right here so you never miss an episode of Andy Staples On 3. And oh, by the way, watch all the other great videos on the On3 Sports YouTube channel.